Team, welcome back to the update show. We are here to talk about event 3 of the Process Programming Process Throwdown and to also revisit our overall winners of the first ever of its kind. I should start by saying thank you to some of our amazing sponsors who've made this competition possible and are going to be handing out some fantastic goodie bags to some of our winners, both the event winners, competition winners, and our spirit winners. So thank you very much to Toomey, Whatever It Takes, ESC Sounds, RX Smart Gear, Lane 8 and Athletic, Coastal, Life Aid, Nocco Bearbells, WeTime, and Ultra Hemp. Thank you so much, guys, for making this competition possible. Without further ado, let's start by talking about event 3. And what is your thoughts, having seen a lot of the workouts take place both in-house here at Coastal Fitness and watching a bunch of our contestants' videos online? What are your general thoughts from event 3?
Well, firstly, I think as a coaching team here at the Process Programming, I think we're blown away by the amount of people just signed up and the general buy-in by everyone, not only in-house, but for our online subscribers as well. Everyone's really bought into the whole idea of competing again and trying to get ready for the CrossFit Open, which has been awesome to see. It's definitely kind of opened our eyes to a few things, which I know we'll touch on later on. But it's been really cool to see everyone kind of raring to get back into it. And like Ed said, just echoing his thanks to our sponsors, it's been great to be able to hand out some things to everyone who has taken place. And yeah, it's been a really cool 3 weeks.
I think just on top of that is one of the biggest and most well-represented divisions was actually our Live division. And for those who follow the Process Programming, the Live program isn't necessarily catered towards anything particular when it comes to competition. So to have so many people sign up and especially doing their very first ever kind of fitness competition was really special.
Yeah, it was awesome to see people get into it and embrace the whole, judging thing, turning up. Especially with us here, we had COVID kind of interrupt our throwdown right on the last one, but everyone still embraced it. Everyone got in to do it, whether it was slightly ahead of time or not. But it was awesome to see that everyone wanted to finish strong on our 3rd week. And yeah, and it was cool to see everyone really buy in, like we said before.
Okay, so, and I think without further ado, we've got a lot to cover in today's show.
Yes.
Let's start by working through our winners of event 3. So starting with the male Live division.
Yeah, so in the male Live division, it has been a tight battle at the top of the table between Mitch Purvis and Eremiah Tapsell. The two Kiwi boys have been battling it out all 3 weeks. And Mitch this week came away with a first place on both event 3A and 3B. Eremiah coming away with a 2nd and a 2nd, so I know Eremiah probably owes Mitch a few Coke Zeros after that. Simon Cox putting up a strong performance in event 3A, and Richard Cohen doing well as well in 3B, coming in 3rd. So some strong performances, but yeah, cool to see people pace it well as execute it in the B work as well with the two boys at the top there.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning this is going to be a theme. Obviously, we could talk about it every single time we go into a new division, but to do well in both 3A and 3B required a lot of strategy, for sure, to make sure you're staying away from a potential bottleneck in part B. So smart strategy and pacing in part A, and then if you pace it effectively, then really challenging the aerobic system, muscle endurance system to be able to then go essentially at it for another round.
Yeah. Sure.
So really impressive to see anyone who was able to finish high in both of these workouts did really, really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so well done to Mitch Purvis on event 3A and 3B there. Let's move on to the women's division in the female category, Ant. What are we seeing here?
See the champ behind the screen, behind the camera, behind the lens. Well done. Kiara Jim taking away another 2 first place finishes on both 3A and 3B. Maddie Booth coming through really strong. I watched her do that one. It's coming in 2nd on 3A and 3B as well. And then Feli Butterfly over in Indonesia coming away with the 3rd in event 3A. And then on 3B, we had Esther Oldfield, who was really solid throughout all of her work on 3A and 3B. She came away 3rd in 3B.
And I have to say, hats off to Kiara, who actually redid this workout. Honesty is something we value here at Coastal Fitness, obviously one of our 6 values. Kiara, after watching her first video attempt, thought or realized that she hadn't hit depth on a few of her wall balls, wasn't satisfied. So came in the next day and redid it again. So well done, Kiara, an impressive event 3.
Back to back.
Okay, moving into the Perform division now. We are looking at our leaders or our winners for event 3 and 3B.
Yep.
And who have we got?
We've got another Kiwi at the top of the men's leaderboard on the perform side. We have Jonty Wood, who came away with the first place in 3A, very consistent across his 3 rounds when he was hitting it. Jesus was in second on 3A and followed by Tiago in third. 3B, we had Callum, who nailed out 3B. Watched him go through that as well. That was really solid. Followed by Tiago and then Jonty again. So pretty consistent from Tiago and Jonty at the top of the leaderboard there.
Yeah, something we've seen so far, all our Event 3 leaders, and I'm sure this will show again when we talk about our overall winners, are all people with fairly extensive sporting backgrounds. We have Mitch Purvis and Eremai in the live category, who are both rugby players, seasoned players, who've been playing for a very, very long time. Mr. Jonty Wood, rugby player as well. Callum Erskine, a football player, or soccer to those who call it that. We have Kiara Jim, who is an endurance athlete, swimmer and distance runner. So really showing that the athletes with athletic background are really coming to fruition in this competition so far.
For sure.
Okay, let's move on to our perform females, looking at Event 3, starting with Event 3A. Who have we got?
We've got our cherished one, Erica Brandelius, who is over in the States now. She came away with first place on both of those events, 3A and 3B. Followed by Janie, who came second in both. I know Janie has a nemesis and a kind of vendetta against wall balls, but she kind of overcame that to get a solid second on both of them. And then Loxie, who came in third on 3A. And then on the 3B, we had Steph Jones, who finished really strong on those toes to bar to take away a solid time for 3B.
Yeah, we saw obviously some of the best athletes being really consistent across a 3A and 3B workout. And then after that, kind of saw a bit of a discrepancy. A lot of people who went really hard, big scores in 3A, realized they'd emptied their tank and had nothing left for 3B. So big discrepancy between those two. And then the reverse. So Steph Jones actually did a really good job of this, paced it maybe a little bit too conservatively, some would say, in the first piece, but then was able to come through the really strong part B.
Yeah, well, her third round actually in part A was actually her highest round, 48, 48, and 49. So for sure, I think she probably targeted the fact that she has strong toes to bar and she wanted to finish really strong on the 3B part.
Okay, well, fantastic to all those in the perform division. Let's move into our final division now, talking about our compete males event 3A and 3B. Let's start with 3A, Ant. What do we see?
3A, we have Matt Heller, who is at the top of the leaderboard for both 3A and 3B. He's really, really strong on that. I remember actually watching his video and thinking he'd gone out way too hot on the toes to bar. I think he did like anywhere between 20 to 25 reps unbroken in his first set of toes to bar. I was really impressed that he actually managed to hold on. I know reading his comments, he also said it was way harder than he thought it was going to be. We had Michael Soul and Thierry Martel, who come in tied in their 3A work, both hitting 222 points. And then for the 3B part, we had Bilal Tariq, who paced it really well throughout the first 3A portion to come away with a second in 3B, followed by our in-house Ginger Ali Reese coming away with a third place finish in 3B.
Yeah, really strong finish from Matt Heller. He hadn't won any events in the first two, which is essentially 4 events, and then finishing really strong here with 2 event wins in 3A and 3B. Okay, moving into our very final division, we have our compete females, starting with workout 3A. And what do we see?
Do you want to have a third crack at this name?
Well, I don't need a third crack because I nailed it the second time, but yeah, sure, why not? Natalie Brunoiga. Yep. Didn't even need to practice that one. Thank you for the lessons on Instagram, Natalie.
Natalie, congratulations on coming away with the first place in both 3A and 3B, followed by Cornelia, who unfortunately wasn't able to join us for our first 2 events, but she's a solid athlete over in Sweden. She did manage to come in for the 3rd event and crush it. In 3rd place on 3A, we have Katie Reggett, in-house athlete, who was really solid. I know these are probably 3 of her favorite movements as well, so she did really well there. 3B, like we said, we had Natalie, who came in first, followed by Katie in 2nd place, and then Steph Okong backing up in 3rd place.
Yeah, watching Natalie's video, really good ability to suffer. Yeah. Similarly, I thought she'd gone out a little bit too hot, but toes to bar was really, really strong. And I think any athlete in this workout who had toes to bar, is a really good opportunity, to catch up on some reps in both part A, and also to not get bottlenecked on part B.
Definitely.
Okay, so well done to everyone on event 3A and 3B. Some fantastic scores across the 3 divisions. We always finish, of course, each event by highlighting the spirit of the week. The spirit of the week is someone who we felt really embodied the essence of competition, but not only just the essence of competition, was there to support others and to basically just spread positive vibes amongst the rest of the contestants, but also the process programming team. And we'd like to reward this week's spirit of the week to our very own Loxy, who's been competing in the female perform division. Loxy, you win yourself a some white chocolate almond bear bells. Loxy, fantastic work. Love having you as a part of the Coastal and Process Program community. Great job. Okay, so here's the big one, Ant. It's time to get into our overall winners.
Crown the champions.
Live, perform, compete category. As we've always been doing every single week, we will start with our Live male division. Now we'll be covering the top 3 in each division, but of course on our fantastic screen you're going to see the top 5 finishes within each division. So starting with our Live males, and take it away.
I think just before we get into this, it is important to know that we have gone through the videos. All the videos that were submitted, thank you so much for doing that, guys. We really appreciate it, and thanks to WeTime for providing a timer for us. At the process program, we have spent the last 2 to 3 days going through all of those videos, and there have been some minor adjustments made. So athletes who have had their adjustments made, you will see that we have commented underneath their performance. Luckily, none of it affected the overall leaderboards, but it's a kind of a lesson learned for some of us, which we'll speak about later on. So without further ado, we'll go into Live males. We'll start in 3rd place and move our way up. In 3rd place, we had James Jewell from Australia. Great job. Followed by the 2 Kiwi boys. In 2nd place, we had Eremaya, just being pipped by 3 points by Mitch Purvis. So congratulations, Mitch. Well done, buddy.
Fantastic. And I know Eremaya and Mitch, first CrossFit competition, both have really embraced the whole spirit of competition. I know it's something they do a lot of time with rugby anyway, but well done, guys. That top 3, really good to watch you guys go head to head.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, moving on to our Live female division. Ant, over to you.
So with our Live females, as you said before, the whole Live category, not many of them have actually been doing CrossFit, strength conditioning, training in general. So it's been great to see these guys really kind of duke it out over the 3 weeks. But in 3rd place, we have our very own Esther Oldfield. Well done, Esther. Followed by probably the 2nd most new person on the Live leaderboard, which is Sophie Feller. So her and Eremaya, well done. A little joint couple there in 2nd. And followed by a very convincing win by our very own, the champ, Kiara Jim behind the lens. Well done to Kiara.
Yeah, well done. I mean, to all those 3 ladies, again, kind of like this just really highlights the importance of athletic background. You know, Esther is a very athletic girl. She really actually, her thing is yoga. So very impressive to see someone, and especially to do so well in that heavy lifting event. Someone with her extreme levels of mobility and flexibility to then come into a sport like CrossFit, which requires tension and strength, and still perform really, really well. Sophie, of course, is a seasoned rugby player. And of course, we talked about Kiara at length now and her athletic background. So great job, ladies. Awesome stuff. Let's move on to our Perform Male division. Now, this top 3 has been largely kind of unchanged over the 3 weeks, especially when you look at that top place. Mr. Jonty Woods, as he's now known as, not just One Tree, 2. So I'll hand this over to Ant, who's now going to break down our top 3 in the male Perform division.
So coming in 3rd, actually Liam last minute did the 3rd workout again, I believe, because he didn't film himself, and it's a requirement for the top 3 to have filmed themselves. So well done to Liam for redoing event 3, coming through the solid score and cementing your 3rd place finish. Followed by Tiago Eduardo. Well done, buddy. Again, very consistent across the board, across the 3, but really 6 workouts. And then Jonty Wood taking away 2 first place finishes and a bunch of 2nd and 3rds as well throughout the 3 weeks. So Jonty Wood, well done, buddy. Good stuff.
Yeah, it just goes to show, over the 6 weeks, we look at Jonty's scores. He had 2 event wins, but basically every single other event was within the top 4. So really just goes to show, over a 6 event competition, consistency always pays off. For sure. So well done, Jonty. Okay, moving on to our Perform females. Now again, in similar vein to our Perform males, the top 3 largely unchanged. We've kind of had some kind of movements over the 3 weeks, but Janie Grant, we saw her on our Zoom call last week. Was really nervous about this last workout, but I shouldn't really. Maybe that was a bit of a spoiler alert. I should hand it over to Ant now to talk about our top 3.
Well, we'll talk about third place first. I think with the third place, it was actually that one that was the position that was changing a lot throughout the last few weeks. We had our Spirit from week 3 finishing up in 4th Loxy, but we had Emily Crutchley, who we did mention as well. I think we mentioned last week. Again, another new kid just being delivered via C-section. It's unbelievable to see her already back in the gym, already in the perform category as well. So, she is doing heavier loads and high complexity movements. So it's been great to see her back in the game. She's obviously an ex-regional level athlete in the sport of CrossFit. So awesome to see her back in the kind of competitive sphere and enjoying herself. Second place, we have Erica Brandelius, again, who's just joined us back on the Process Programming. So awesome to see her getting her scores in and coming away with 3 first place finishes over the 6 workouts. And then, as you mentioned, Jenny Grant, although the Nemesis, the wall balls were in that last workout, she did unbelievably well. And again, really, really good, solid aerobic base and good engine. She really did excel in this final workout as well.
Yeah, and I mean, just hats off to Janie. To put it back into context, Janie's got 2 children. She's a teacher, works a full-time job.
Barely breaks 4 foot and still doing wall balls.
Yes. Yeah. Hasn't been doing CrossFit all that long. She just transitioned in through kind of a boot camp class here. Had a love for just challenging herself and seeing what she could do physically and mentally. Yeah. And, just been in a really great trajectory for her over the last 2 to 3 years. And so to see her, winning this division, which has some really talented ladies in it, in dominating fashion, is just really cool to see. So amazing work, Janie. Okay, moving into our final division, starting with the compete males. A hotly contested division with some really great athletes. A lot of these guys, just for some context, have been in the sport for a long time. Not necessarily with the process programming, having worked with individual coaches or been on other group training platforms that kind of found themselves in the process programming now. So, the level, the standard of competition, when we compare it to competitions we run previously 1 to 2 years ago, is just exponentially higher, and just really cool to see the capacity of some of our subscribers around the world now. So without further ado, Ant, let me hand this one over to you.
So in third place, we have Thierry Martel, who took out 3rd. He'll be happy that he actually ended up convincingly beating his brother Zav. So condolences, Zav. But I know how it feels to be the younger brother, so well done, Thierry. Michael Soul.
You don't know how it feels to be the worst brother.
Michael Soul, congratulations again. Just like Liam in the perform category, he did do a last-minute redo. I know he actually stopped in the second part in 3B and just kind of pulled the pin. That's what a couple of beers does to you on a night before.
Lesson learned.
But yeah, he came back really strong, taking away a 2nd and a 6th in event 3, which did cement his 2nd place overall. And that was only 4 points behind Matt Heller. Matt Heller, super strong, really, really, really good to watch. He was a pretty good mover throughout, like I said. Did some things which I kind of raised my eyebrows to when I was watching his videos, and he managed to hold on. So, congratulations, Matt Heller. You've taken away 1st place in the men's compete division. So, well done.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Heller, we don't really know that much about Matt. He just joined up with the Process Programming just before the Throwdown. He actually trains in the facility of one of our affiliate gyms, Benkel Teptuka. Yeah. He's a guy who's been in the sport for a really long time. I know he's been following template psych comp training for some time now, and it's kind of just sick and tired of being beat up and injured, and that's kind of what made him gravitate towards the process programming. But nice. I mean, if this is just the start of him still getting better within the sport, I'm really excited to see what Matt's can achieve now in the next coming months and years.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, going into our very final division now, looking at our compete females. Now, out of all our divisions, we probably had the least a number of contestants in this, and it just kind of always is the way with kind of competitive female divisions, just not that many of them doing this around the world. But still, we did still have a total of 9 ladies compete. A couple of ladies had other things going on, unfortunately, at the time, which meant they couldn't commit to the 3 weeks. But still, we had 7 ladies really battle this one out and give their all in every single week. And take it away. Who do we have in our top 3?
Well, yeah, so like you were just saying, because it's a tighter division and less people in it, it's more important that you're doing well each week, because you can chop and change so much more on the leaderboard. So in 3rd place, we have our in-house American, Stephanie Pullman. Great job. Again, some solid scores on your final event. Very, very consistent. We know she is a bit of an aerobic machine, but a really good mover at the same time as well. So cementing in 3rd place there in the last minute. Ed, your favorite person. Let's go.
Natalie Brunoiger in second.
Yep, again, so second place, 2 first place finishes, which hammered home that second place for you. Well done, Natalie.
Great
And
last week.
finally, Katie Reggett, well done, coming away with 4 first place finishes over 6 workouts. That's basically how to win first place.
Yeah, I mean,
Be
let's
complete
just talk
champ.
about Katie because she's been pretty dominating over the 3 weeks. We haven't really spoken all that much about her. When we look at sporting background for Katie, she's a big, really strong girl, but who also has amazing aerobic capacity, moves really, really well as well. Her kind of sporting backgrounds were mainly water polo and actually water-based sports, but has run a couple of marathons as well. And so kind of has all those prerequisites to be someone really good in the sport. Since she joined us, I think it was back in 2017, she'd just come on leaps and bounds. As an athlete, has just started to really round out some of her weaknesses. But just great to see her, on the competition floor, having not competed all this year. I know she's, kind of eyeing up that sanctional kind of level competition again. So I'm sure this is going to set her up in good stead for the Open and perhaps any competitions that come later.
Yeah, I mean, across all 3 divisions, really, I am really excited to see how all these people do, especially people who are overseas where you maybe haven't seen face-to-face working out and training. It is exciting to see these names on the leaderboard and then so we can look out for them on future leaderboards.
Yeah. So just to all of our winners across our 3 divisions, remember you have a fantastic goodie bag provided by our amazing sponsors coming your way shortly. So hang tight and just well done again to all you guys for a very impressive performance over the 3 weeks. Before we sign out, it's worthy of talking about 2 more awards. Really, this comes under one category, which is the overall spirit of the throwdown. We always have a spirit of the throwdown kind of award every time we run a competition, because again, this is for someone who really embodies the positive spirit of a competition. They're there cheering other contestants on. They're providing nothing but positivity on our online forums and kind of when communicating with the coaches and the rest of the community. They're, of course, giving their all to every single workout, upholding movement standards as best they can. And so these are the kind of people that we really value in challenging times like this throwdown, but also in challenging times like this year. And these 2 people we've selected 1 male and 1 female winner for the spirit of the throwdown, have contributed actually much more to this community than just over the 3 weeks. So let's get straight into it. We'll start with our female spirit of the throwdown. Ant.
Female spirit of the throwdown. I mean, well, when we talk about Coastal Fitness, she's been here. She's almost here every single day, whether she's doing her own mobility work, whether she's viewing and literally just being a spectator or coming in to help out her boyfriend, her friends, or anyone else who just needs help. And I was actually very impressed with her own efforts throughout the 3 events during the Process Throwdown. So without further ado, we'll announce the female winner of the Spirit of the Throwdown, Storm Bell. Congratulations.
Well done, Storm. I mean, just to kind of add one more piece on top of that, we do have limited spaces here at Coastal Fitness, especially during this during the throwdown slots. We had to require people to book out their hour. Storm had identified that 1 slot hadn't been taken to do the throwdown and booked herself in to that slot just to spectate. Now that isn't commitment to your friends and peers. I don't know what is. So well done, Storm, a very worthy winner of the female spirit of the throwdown. Next, we move on to our male spirit of the throwdown. Ant, you want to take this one away?
Sure. So if you guys are avid Instagram users and you do follow us on the Process Program, you will see that we have been reposting this man who you probably won't know because his Instagram handle is very different to his actual name. But he has been providing his own little rundown, breakdown, running commentary of each workout, which has been very entertaining to watch, to say the least. Some good humor in there and just general good vibes from this man. He's been on the program for a while. I know we've been connected with him for some time, and he does really bring like positive vibes to everything he does. He asks some really good questions, and again on the water cooler, he's always got good things to say. So over in China, Chris Toison, well done, buddy. It's been great watching your videos, and it's been great to see you actually compete and put up some really good scores as well.
Yeah, I mean, I should start with a little round of applause because I gave one to Storm. Well done, Chris, worthy winner. But I pretty much have a daily laugh when I see Chris comment something on the water cooler, whether it's just banter or whether it's just feedback on a workout that he does, because I obviously follow him as his coach. Had the pleasure of meeting Chris a few years back when he trained at the old Coastal Fitness, kind of went on his own path of weightlifting, explored some different coaches, and here he is. He's kind of found himself back with the process programming, and I do know it's within his sights to be moving back to Hong Kong, so we're gonna have him in-house at some point. But if you haven't watched Chris's event 1, 2, and 3, do it. It's some fantastic enjoyment. He pulls his friends and his family into his commentary of each workout and kind of mix in with some seriousness and definitely some humor in there. Chris, you are a very, very worthy winner of the Spirit of the Throwdown. I should just mention that our 2 Spirits of the Throwdown have some goodie bags coming your way, thanks to our sponsors at Earn Athletic, who are giving you guys a bag, our amazing sponsors Lane 8, who are giving you each a pair of shoes, and very own Coastal Fitness, with some of our newest swag will be coming your way. That's it from us, guys, on the Process Programming Process Throwdown update show. Thank you so much for tuning in over the 4 weeks, because of course we started with a lead-in show. I want to say thank you very much to Kiara, aka The Champ, who's been producing these fantastic videos for you guys. Once again, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors who've made this possible. This is not the last you're going to see of us. We do have one more episode coming your way where we're going to be reflecting on the Throwdown, talking about the programming, the workouts, and lessons that we've learned as a coaching programming team that we'll be incorporating into future competitions. Thank you guys, and Ant, thank you so much for joining me on this show.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.